Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're diving into the art of making the perfect soups and stews. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a kitchen newbie, our 10 tips for making the best soups and stews will elevate your culinary creations. From selecting fresh ingredients to mastering the balance of flavors and textures, we've got you covered with essential techniques that will warm your heart and satisfy your taste buds. Let's get started on your journey to soup and stew perfection. 1. Start with fresh ingredients. When it comes to making the best soups and stews, the freshness of your ingredients plays a crucial role. Fresh vegetables, meats, and herbs can make a significant difference in the flavor profile of your dish. Imagine biting into a carrot that's just been picked from the garden. It has a crispness and sweetness that a week-old carrot lacks. Similarly, fresh herbs like basil or thyme can elevate a simple broth into a gourmet experience. Always try to buy your ingredients locally when possible, as they are likely to be fresher and more flavorful. Using fresh ingredients not only enhances taste but also boosts the nutritional value of your soup or stew. So, the next time you shop for your culinary creations, focus on freshness. 2. Season as you go. Seasoning is the backbone of any good soup or stew. It's not just about adding salt and pepper at the end, it's about building layers of flavor throughout the cooking process. Think of seasoning as a symphony, with each spice and herb playing its unique note. As you sauté your onions and garlic, add a pinch of salt to draw out their sweetness. When you add your vegetables and meats, sprinkle some pepper for a bit of heat. Taste your dish periodically and adjust the seasoning accordingly. This approach ensures that every ingredient contributes to a harmonious flavor profile. Remember, it's easier to add more seasoning than to take it away, so season gradually. 3. Use homemade stock. A robust homemade stock can be the secret ingredient that sets your soup or stew apart. Store-bought stocks often contain additives and can lack the depth of flavor that a homemade version offers. Making your stock might seem daunting, but it's simpler than you think. You can use leftover bones from roasted chicken or beef, along with vegetable scraps, to create a rich and flavorful base. Simmer everything together for a few hours, and you'll have a stock that's worth its weight in gold. This homemade stock acts as the foundation of your dish, providing a depth of flavor that's hard to achieve otherwise. Plus, it's a great way to reduce waste in your kitchen. 4. Don't rush the cooking process. Good things come to those who wait, and this is especially true for soups and stews. The slow cooking process allows flavors to meld together, creating a dish that's greater than the sum of its parts. Think of it like a good book. You need to take your time to appreciate each chapter. Start by browning your meats to develop a rich, caramelized flavor. Let your soup or stew simmer gently, allowing the ingredients to break down and release their natural goodness. Rushing this process can lead to a bland or underdeveloped dish. So, embrace the slow pace and let your ingredients work their magic over time. 5. Balance your flavors. A well-balanced soup or stew is a joy to eat, with each spoonful offering a harmonious blend of flavors. Achieving this balance requires a bit of finesse and understanding of how different tastes interact. For instance, if your dish is too salty, you can counteract it with a touch of sweetness, like a splash of honey or a pinch of sugar. If it's too rich, a squeeze of lemon juice can add a refreshing acidity. Think of flavor balancing as a dance, with each ingredient stepping in to create a perfect rhythm. Experiment with different combinations to find the balance that pleases your palate. 6. Utilize herbs and spices. Herbs and spices are the unsung heroes of the culinary world, capable of transforming a mundane dish into something extraordinary. They are like the colorful paint on an artist's palette, ready to bring your soups and stews to life. Fresh herbs like cilantro or parsley can add a burst of freshness, while dried spices like cumin or paprika can provide depth and warmth. Don't be afraid to experiment with different combinations to find your unique flavor profile. A sprinkle of nutmeg or a dash of cinnamon can add surprising complexity to a beef stew. Remember, herbs and spices should enhance, not overpower, the natural flavors of your ingredients. 7. Consider texture. Texture is an often overlooked aspect of making soups and stews, yet it plays a vital role in the overall eating experience. Think of texture as the fabric that holds your dish together, providing contrast and interest. For example, adding cooked beans or lentils can give your stew a hearty, satisfying texture. If you prefer a smoother consistency, consider pureeing a portion of your soup and mixing it back in. You can also add a handful of grains, like barley or quinoa, for a chewy element. Strive for a balance that pleases the senses, combining soft, tender ingredients with a bit of crunch or chew. 8. Incorporate acid. Acid might not be the first thing that comes to mind when making soups and stews, but it can be a game changer. A splash of vinegar or a squeeze of citrus can brighten up your dish, cutting through the richness and adding a refreshing note. Think of acid as the zesty lemon twist in a cocktail, bringing everything together. It can lift the flavors, making them more pronounced and vibrant. When your soup or stew tastes a bit flat, try adding a touch of acid and see how it transforms the dish. Remember, a little goes a long way, so start with a small amount and adjust to taste. 9. Thicken thoughtfully. The thickness of your soup or stew can greatly affect its appeal, offering a comforting, hearty experience. However, thickening should be done thoughtfully to avoid a gluey or pasty texture. You can use several methods to achieve the desired consistency. For a natural approach, puree some of the cooked vegetables and stir them back into the pot. Alternatively, a roux made from flour and butter can add a rich, velvety texture. Beurre manière, a mixture of butter and flour, can also be used for last-minute thickening. The key is to avoid overdoing it, maintaining the right balance between liquid and solid components. 10. Finish with a garnish. A well-chosen garnish can elevate your soup or stew from ordinary to extraordinary. It's like the cherry on top of a sundae, adding a finishing touch that enhances both appearance and flavor. Consider fresh herbs like chives or cilantro for a burst of color and freshness. A dollop of sour cream or a drizzle of olive oil can add richness and depth. Crunchy toppings like croutons or toasted nuts provide a delightful contrast to the softness of the soup. Experiment with different garnishes to find the perfect complement to your dish. A thoughtful garnish not only enhances the visual appeal but also adds an extra layer of flavor and texture.